Welcome to Serving Leominster. This is a program dedicated to highlighting individuals and organizations that make Leominster a great city. My guest today is Cory Hassleman, and unfortunately his assistant couldn't make it today, so we have a fill-in called John Tata, who is a retired commander in the Navy and very active in veterans groups throughout the Commonwealth, to be honest. So I might ask John a few questions about that a little bit later on. But Cory, I'm going to put you on the background, on the spot.
Yeah, please.
Can't even think. On the spot. Tell us about your background, where you came from, what you do, that type of stuff.
Great. So my name is Cory Hassleman, Director of Leominster and Sterling Veteran Services, North Central District. Marine Corps veteran. I enlisted in 2007, right after high school. Unfortunately, got medically discharged 2.5 years after service. Unfortunate incidents, weren't able to sustain my infantry job. I was 0311, 8152. So they offered me an admin job or, unfortunately leaving service. At the time, young, dumb, didn't really know, so I ended up leaving the service. But it kind of worked out because I fell into veteran services, right? I've been in veteran services just a little over a decade at this point. Started a nonprofit with another Marine Corps veteran, Dr. Wesley Sanders. We have a nonprofit called Frost Call. It's fast response over a short transmission. We connect veterans using video games as a nexus, and then their service as well. We use that for mental health and well-being and to fight isolation. Through that program, I actually, someone came out to me and said, hey, there's this veteran service officer job in Gardner, which is where I live. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I've met a VSO. I've worked with a VSO before for my own personal needs. I'd like to be able to continue that and help serve the veterans who served, right? So I applied and got the job. I was the assistant director for the Wachusett District in Gardner for a year. And then I became the director. I did that for a bit over a year, so 2.5 years in the Wachusett District. And just a month ago, as of October 2nd, so September 2nd, I became director in Leominster here.
So you've been on board about a month, huh?
Yeah, a month as of tomorrow.
And what do you think about Leominster? Is it a good place to be?
I love it. Working in the veteran services and for the city has been tremendous in the last month. I did live in Leominster as a kid. I went to Southeast, I went to I went to Leominster High for a while, and it's nice to be back and to be part of, Veterans Days coming up around the corner. It's nice to help facilitate these events that I used to go to,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now, you have an assistant, Jolene Constant, okay?
Yes.
Jolene's been with the Veterans Services for, what, 10 years now?
She just hit 10 years with the city.
10
yes.
years, yeah. And I understand she got some type of an award this year.
Yes, she got the 2025 Massachusetts Heroine Award.
Fantastic, huh? Well deserved.
Oh yes, very much.
Yeah.
She runs the office. I just have the title.
I was going to tell you that she really
Yeah.
does run the office, doesn't she? Yeah, great. What are the primary responsibilities of a veteran service officer?
Yeah. So our main service in Massachusetts is Chapter 115. It's a low-income financial assistance program for veterans that are in financial distress. So anyone under the 200% poverty level, which right now for a single individual is $2,609. So anyone that makes that from a monthly standpoint could get a stipend paid by the city of Leominster or whatever city and town you live in. But Leominster obviously is where we cover. But every city and town in Massachusetts has a veteran service officer that administers this benefit. So we can help with medical bills, dental, reimbursements, premium copays. So, we have a lot of veterans who are on a set income through Social Security, and we can help reimburse their Medigap. If it's $250 to Blue Cross, that $250 goes a long way when you're on a set income. Mm-hmm. And then if there's any copays or prescriptions that come in, we can help with those as well. So that's our first and foremost main objective is Chapter 115, to make sure, you get a hand up to help you in any financial distress you might be in. And then my other priority is veterans' disability claims. Right, so I help families and veterans file for their disability that they earned through their service. Any service-connected disease, illness that veteran might be entitled to, I help them fill out the paperwork, make sure all the evidence is submitted, and send it directly to our national service officers in Boston and then to the VA to make sure they're getting the benefits that they deserved. And then, of course, family for any surviving spouse, widow, if we unfortunately lose a veteran, making sure their family is taken care of as well and they're getting benefits that that veteran earned for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, you do this to the Veterans Administration, right? That's a national organization,
Yep.
Not local. Okay. How many? How do veterans get to know that you exist and that become aware of the programs? Do you reach out to them, or do you wait for them to come in?
So a mix of both. We have outreach, of course, any event that the city hosts, we try to partake, and not just the city, but any of the veteran organizations in the city. We were just at the Johnny Appleseed Festival next to the American Legion and the VFW as well, right? So that outreach helps draw veterans in. Just from the Johnny Appleseed Festival, we've had, I want to say, 5 veterans call that met me at that event that are now coming in for services that we offer. But with most veterans things, it's very much a word of mouth, right? Whether you're watching this show or you run into your buddy who you served with and they say, hey, Cory helped me file my disability claim. That's where a lot of the traffic comes from. Because as you both very well know, right, veterans are a very small group, close knit. So if someone gets a good experience, it's just going to spread like there.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the HERO Act. Mm-hmm. Okay. I understand it's undergoing. That's a state program, right?
Correct.
The HERO Act.
Yep.
Okay. And what are some of the benefits of the HERO Act for veterans?
So it's a state program, but a lot of it is locally adopted. So inside of the HERO Act, a few major components are the excise tax changes. So 100% disabled veterans are now allotted to get their excise tax waived as long as their city or town adopts that, right? So you used to have to require the disabled veteran's license plate. That's no longer a requirement if you're a 100% service-connected disabled veteran, as long as your city adopts that. There's the property tax abatement increase. So now all cities and towns are allowed to increase the property tax abatement. That's a minimum floor of $400 for 10% to 90% and $1,000 for 100%. But the city and towns are allowed to adopt to double those and increase them based off of COLAs as well. So that gives the cities and towns more room. And Leominster, I believe right now is 600 and 1,200. So they've already adopted to have the increase, an increase from the minimum floor. So that's good to see. Unfortunately, most towns can't afford to do that and have not adopted that. Another big component is the definition of a veteran changed in Massachusetts specifically. So when it comes to the Chapter 115, anyone that has a service discharge above dishonorable is allowed to qualify for Chapter 115 now. If you had an other than honorable, you didn't qualify previously, so that's a huge change. And reserve and guard members actually qualify now as well, which before without active duty time you would not. So that's a big component.
They think there's a couple of other organizations that they've added to it besides the military veterans, if I'm not mistaken,
For
the HEROES Act in Massachusetts?
the property tax or?
No, for the HEROES Act. I just read an article that...
We're talking about
let's
NOAA.
Uniformed Services adding Commissioned Corps of Veterans and Commissioned Corps of the National OSHA.
Oh, okay.
Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that because I don't work with that population.
Okay.
But I did know that they were, again, like changing the definition of certain things. So.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to get the National Guard people in
Yeah.
there because they deserved it, I believe. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's It's a big struggle, unfortunately, to help National Guard Reserve members with a lot of benefits, from the federal level. So it's nice that the state has at least tried to
Do something.
do something because their service should be recognized. They signed on the same dotted line as we did. So.
Now, the city of Leominster has adopted another portion of the HEROES Act called the Veterans Tax Work-Off Program.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's still a work in progress. We're still working on the application process and everything, but recently, last month, the city of Leominster adopted the Veterans Tax Work-Off, which is a volunteer program through the city of Leominster that you earn credits towards your property tax, and it's up to $1,500 off of your property tax, depending on the amount of hours that the veteran works. And so it's very similar to the senior tax work-off, but there's not an age restriction. It's just a veteran status restriction.
So that's pending for our veterans here in Leominster.
Correct. We still have to finalize the actual application form and get everything set up. But if you are volunteering, I've told a few members that come to the Veteran Center on like the Tuesday lunches, is make sure you're writing down your hours now, so that way we can make sure we get that accredited once the formal application process is done.
Now, what type of hours count as far as volunteer activities?
So the way that we view it is it's more or less up to the discretion of myself and Jolene, right? But it's as long as you're supporting Leominster veterans, we're going to count it. If you're helping volunteer at the lunch, if you're helping with the coffee and cards on Tuesdays, if you're going to a veteran's house and you're talking about, assistance programs, letting them know what our office does, right? Those are all hours, you're helping a Leominster veteran get their benefits, their service, and just recognizing them, that's going to count to me.
Now, there's another portion of your operation that I think Jolene kind of takes care of, and that's the rental of the hall at the Veterans Center.
Yes.
I know a lot of the veterans organizations use that, but are there other groups that use that on a regular basis?
On a regular basis, we have the Builders Group. They come in. It's a Leominster-based organization that has a bunch of different, I want to say they're construction companies. Please don't quote me on that. I don't exactly know. I've only been there a month, but I know they meet, I want to say it's every Wednesday morning. Weight Watchers goes and meets there now because they unfortunately lost their previous facility. So they're meeting there at least twice a month now as well. So there's a lot of different organizations that come in, and then of course it is open to rentals for anyone that needs it for a party of some kind as well.
Can you tell, is there a phone number or something that people use to find out about the rentals?
Yep. So I don't know the phone number off the top of my head.
That's okay.
But if you just call our veterans office, you just Google Leominster Veteran Services, you can definitely connect right to us. But I can get that number.
Okay.
Can you walk back one topic?
Yes.
The volunteer hours program,
Yes, sir.
is there any restriction as far as income level that, you're cut out of the program?
No. Nope.
No. Okay. Good. I'm going to focus on you, Commander Tata. Okay. You do a lot
And a
of
target before.
you do a lot of work for veterans organizations, but one that I know I'm very familiar with because of the American Legion is a program called Boy State. Can you tell us a little bit about what Boy State is all about?
Well, Boy State is a program where for about approximately the last week in June every year, local high schools nominate boys to go to one of the college campuses. I can't remember which one we're doing now. But they spend a week there and they learn about government. They basically are given a job as a state rep or a mayor or a state senator. They have to propose legislation, and they do all kinds of other things in that arena. And that's kind of a broad reach, but without specifics. And I understand we're going to have some of those lads here at a future show.
Yeah, I believe we will. Yes.
And so at the end of and this is a all encompassing. They go there and they have no wheels to go anywhere else. Okay, it's kind of like going to sea. Bye, Mom and Dad. See you when the ship returns. And so after a week, they go through all these activities. They have all these different political jobs, and they get certificates, and then they elect one member, or sometimes more than one, to go to Boys Nation in Washington, D.C. And this past year, we had one of our young lads, and he went off to D.C. And his name is Roy, and his last name is Mwanga. Is that close?
Ardinger, yeah.
Got it. Who happens to currently be the president of the senior class at LHS.
Nice.
Oh, so it's a great program.
Yes, and the Legion annually in the spring will be contacting businesses asking for support in that program. They have a corresponding program run by the American Legion Auxiliary for girls. So we may come down and do a show about, well, we're going to do it with the boys this year, right? We might do a fundraising session on this
Okay.
next spring.
You mentioned earlier that this is us, both of us being Navy veterans, this is the 250th anniversary of the Navy?
Of the birth of the Navy, yes.
Yeah.
We're in October, and the Marines are in November.
Yeah, 10 November 1775. Raw.
So I think I have heard there's a lottery coming up for a turnaround cruise, but I don't have any details.
Turnaround cruise on the USS Constitution?
Correct.
Yeah. Now, is that going to be open to the general public?
I don't know how they're.
Oh, okay.
All right. I know it's going to be a lottery. That was discussed at a Navy League meeting this week. All right. I don't know that it's gone out to the general public. I'm sure it's going to be coordinated between the ship, the museum, and a few other groups in Boston.
That is an amazing experience to be part of. If anyone hasn't been, it's definitely a trip to take. So.
Have you had that opportunity?
I have, yeah.
Really? That's
I've
great.
luckily been on the Constitution quite a few times. I've had the privilege. So.
Good. On the turnaround cruise?
I've been on a turnaround cruise once.
Wow, that's amazing, because that's a very hard thing to
Yeah.
get onto.
Yep.
Yeah, so congratulations.
It's a quiet ride.
It was a quiet ride compared
I'm
to
not used to that.
any other ship, that's for sure.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. Happy to have you here. And just for anybody else that is interested, we're always looking for other people, other organizations to come on the show and tell us about themselves and their organization. And if you want to contact me, you can reach me at my cell phone. It's 508-479-0895. And this is Serving Leominster, and thank you for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.